Welcome back. Today's video is going to be an almost full face of Charlotte Tilbury. While I don't have any foundation, concealer, brows, bronzer, or blush, I do have the highlighter, an eyeshadow palette, eyeliner, mascara, lip products, and a ton of cream shadows. And that includes the new Eyes to Mesmerize shades in Golden Eclipse, Sunlit Glow, and Exaggerize. I've already done my base since I don't have any of their base products. You know, frankly, I haven't heard a ton of great things about their foundations or concealers. I tend to stick with their eyes and their lip products, but a tried and true fave is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have the little mini in the shade 3. Online, this looked quite deep and peach for my skin, but as you can see, the shade 3 really is just a perfect match. And I'm somewhere in between what would be marketed as fair and light, and I'm somewhere in between neutral and cool undertones, if that helps. So I like putting this just like a dot on my nose, on my cheekbones. Really, it's such a famous product for a reason. It is by far my favorite highlighter of all time. Since I find that I tend to get a little bit oily throughout the day when I wear makeup, despite the fact that I have dry skin. So I really just like to use this as a highlighter that looks really natural, that doesn't look shimmery. It's not gonna give you that like, whoa, you're wearing highlighter look. It just makes me feel like I look expensive, you know? It makes me feel like I've spent a lot of time doing my skincare when really I haven't. So you can see how the shade 3 looks all over my skin, does not look like there's any color, but look how deep it looks in the swatch. So it looks like a good match there, but you can really see the color when I kind of move out of the light, so you're not kind of getting all of that pearl. That's really what the color is, but it shears out so beautifully. So don't stress about getting a perfect match because it really is flexible. So next, let's talk about the Eyes to Mesmerize formulas. These are a long-time favorite of mine. I have so much content on my channel reviewing the formula, showing all different shades. So if you go to my channel and you click the search bar, you can type in Charlotte Tilbury, Oyster Pearl, or Pillow Talk, or Amber Gold, and you can see the videos where I apply those. But today I'm gonna focus on the 3 new Eyes to Mesmerize shadows, which are Golden Eclipse, Sunlit Glow, and Exaggerize. The shade Golden Eclipse is a very bright but sheer yellow gold, and very much more yellow than the other shades in the line. And as you can see in the application footage, a light wash of the shadow gives you a really nice sheer pop of yellow, but you can totally build this up for more pigment. I find that compared to Sunlit Glow, Golden Eclipse is a little bit more pigmented, but just be warned that with this cream shadow formula, since it's not budge proof, the more you build it up for the color, the more likely it is to crease. This is the shade Sunlit Glow. It's one of the new ones, and it's kind of like a soft gold with a duochrome that shifts pink. And as you can see in the application footage, it's incredibly sheer to the point where you really can't see much on my eyes unless I build up the pigment. So if you're looking for something that's like really bright pink and you're looking for that pop of pink shift, I might go for a different product because you really have to build this up since it's so sheer to get that pink color. But if you just want a wash of color with that duochrome effect, then I think Sunlit Glow is a really great option. But Exaggerize is my favorite, and I just did a full wear test of this since this formula includes a lot of glitter, which is the first time they've done that in this range. It's a very sheer base that's kind of a cross between a soft brown and a peach. Definitely pulls a little bit more peach on my eyes, but it's still very sheer. And it has the inclusion of a ton of silver glitters. And as you'll see in the application footage, when you first put it on your eyes, you see more of the peach base. But if you check my wear test, which I'll link in the description box below, or I'll put somewhere on the screen, you'll see that as the shadow fades throughout the day, the glitter stays and really comes through. I'll drop in a clip of my wear test right now when I was talking through the results, and I really feel like this shadow kind of transforms as you wear it, because like I said, it starts off with that kind of peachy sheer base and a little bit of glitter, but by the end of the day, when the base wears off, the glitter really pops, as you can see in this footage, especially under the lights at night. So it's kind of my perfect day into night shadow. Like the later it gets, the more glitter you get, and I kind of like that. My other favorites from the line are Amber Gold, Oyster Pearl, and Pillow Talk. Oyster Pearl is this really beautiful kind of amorphous shadow that sometimes looks cool toned in certain lights, sometimes looks a little bit warm toned. It's really special. It's slightly warmer than Tom Ford's Platinum Cream Shadow, and it's also the cream version of the Dior single eyeshadow in the shade Beige Mitza. It's one of my most used eyeshadows of all time. Pillow Talk is another favorite, and it's that iconic shade. It's kind of like a pinky mauvey brown. And as an eyeshadow, I think it looks really special and somewhat unique. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any footage of Amber Gold, but if I do, I will drop it in right here. Mine still says Betty on it because they renamed the shadows a few months ago, but it's basically like my perfect warm bronze. Since I've talked about the Eyes to Mesmerize formula so many times on my channel and very recently, today instead I'm gonna apply the Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette because this is what Charlotte Tilbury just sent me in PR. So on the back of this palette, they say that you use this to prime, this to enhance, this to pop, and this to smoke. So that's how we're gonna apply it today. And for the close-up, we have prime, enhance, pop, and smoke. Normally, I would not do my makeup like this, but I'm gonna use that prime shadow all over the lid up to the crease and see how it goes. So I'm just taking that, and I'm expecting it to be quite shimmery because Charlotte Tilbury loves a little pop on that brow bone. It's actually a lot softer than I was expecting. It's really nice. I thought it was gonna be like really, really bright, but I can see why they would call it a prime shadow because it just looks like it evened everything out and adds a little bit of softness. So it creates a really nice canvas to work with. I'm also gonna do eyeliner today because they sent me their, I believe it's called Rock and Coal eyeliner pencil. And I'm gonna try to make this look glam because, you know, it is a Charlotte Tilbury tutorial. I'm gonna take the same prime shadow and I'm gonna just pop it in that inner corner because that's what they did on the marketing images, which isn't something I normally do, but every time I wear it, I'm like, damn, that looks nice. I gotta say, I actually really like that as an inner corner highlight because it's not like a bright white that looks super stark. It's got that subtle pink to it, which I think is super pretty. All right, so now I'm gonna take the Enhance shade, which is this kind of like, I don't know, like light medium, kind of plummy pinky mauve brown. And I'm just gonna put that in the crease. Yeah, on me it looks really pink, which I don't hate. So far, really impressed with this formula too. The matte shadow that I'm applying right now feels really nice and creamy. It's not too pigmented to the point where I'm like scared to use it. It's not too dry where I feel like it's patchy. It's not too sheer where I feel like I really have to build it up and struggle with it. This is really a nice formula. I'm gonna take the Smoke shade now, and I'm just gonna apply that on the lower lash line. Ooh, whoa, that was more pigmented than I was expecting. I'm gonna wipe some of that off. Don't need to go too crazy today. Oh, that's a really, really nice shade though. And I'm gonna clean up under the eye with a little bit of concealer later, so I'm not gonna worry about it being a little bit messy. And this Smoke shade also feels really nice and soft, doesn't feel too dry, doesn't seem too sheer, too pigmented. It's just kind of like perfectly in the middle. So now we gotta do the glitter. We're gonna do the Pop shade. I have tried this before, and I feel like when I applied it on a dry lid, I got some fallout. I wonder if I can spray my eyes with setting spray and make it a little bit tacky so it sticks. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna take the Youthforia pregame setting spray and I'm just gonna try to make my eyes a little wet. I have no idea if this worked or not. Okay, it's coming through. No fallout, but it's a little bit more sheer than I was expecting. Like, I want more from a glitter topper, you know? It's pretty, it's nice, but I want more. They also sent me their Rock and Coal liner in Barbarella Brown, and I'm just gonna do a little wing on my outer part of my eye because I do have slightly hooded eyes. So if you look here, I really have limited lid space. I like to just keep my liner like on the edges. Really nice and creamy. And then I'll just blend that kind of into the lash line later. I'm at an Airbnb and I don't have my normal setup, so let's see if I can do this one-handed while holding a mirror. Oh my God, I feel like I can't even breathe. Really light. I think I did it. I think that's a good shape. Am I Superwoman? Hell yeah. I think this is a really nice pencil so far. It feels, oop, got a little bit of fallout right there from that pencil. Eyeliner is done, and I feel like winged liner is just like brows. They can be cousins, not sisters, so we're not going for perfection here. This is not a first impressions. I've tried the eyeliner and the mascara in the past week, and at some point I got really bad transfer under my eyes. I can't tell if it was the eyeliner or the mascara, so what I'm gonna do to be sure today is I'm not gonna put this on my upper waterline, and if I still get transfer, then it means it's the mascara, and if I don't get any transfer, then it means that the eyeliner was the one that transferred. I really hope it was was the mascara that transferred because I frankly didn't really like the way that the mascara made my lashes look, but I love this eyeliner. Also, it's just really hard for me to reach for any mascara that's not a tubing mascara because I just love the way that those rinse off with warm water. So hopefully Charlotte Tilbury will come out with a tubing mascara one day. Now I'm gonna apply the Legendary Lashes Mascara Volume 2. It has a pretty big, fluffy bristle brush, and I'm gonna try to do this without opening my mouth super wide and making a bunch of weird faces. Last time I applied this, I just really couldn't get the volume that I wanted. I found that even my Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara gave me more volume and more length. I gotta be real with you, I really don't like this mascara. It makes my lashes look really short, really flat, doesn't hold a curl. I hate the way this looks. Mascara is done on the top and bottom lashes, and I'm just adding a little bit of the MAC Glow Play blush in the shade Blush Please because it kind of reminds me of the same shade as all of the Pillow Talk colors. So let's finish this off with one of my all-time favorite products. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss in the shade Pillow Talk. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but I am almost done with this bad boy, and let me tell you, I've only had this for like a year and a half, a year maybe, and I do not finish lip products very easily. God, I love this product so much. So I have an extremely comprehensive review already on my channel of this lip product, and I compare it to other formulas like the M Cosmetics lip cushions. So I'll link that video in the description box below, or I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But this is my second favorite lip formula of all time, a close second behind the Fit Glow Lip Serum. I just love that these are so thick and occlusive and nourishing. When you rub your lips together, it's just one of the most comforting, cushiony, like sensory experiences. I love that this has a subtle sweet smell. I think the shade Pillow Talk is the perfect kind of rose color on me. I love the shine. I love the level of pigment it gives. And when I'm just craving that feeling of applying it, I reach for the shade Crystal Happy Kiss, which is basically a clear with just a tiny, tiny hint of pink. One con for people to know about this though, is that the packaging does feel like very cheap plastic. So when you're paying Charlotte Tilbury prices, it can be a little bit surprising when you get something like this that feels very cheap. And also it's the kind of product that you can twist up, but you can't twist back down. And the bullet can get a little bit messy, so it's not great to look at, but I don't really mind that. It's just a personal preference thing. I have more Charlotte Tilbury products at home, but since we're at an Airbnb, I don't have them with me. I also have the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder in the shade Fair, and I find that it's a nice powder. It just kind of mattifies my skin a little bit, but I find that it doesn't really keep my oil under control. So I do need a powder that is like really hefty and is just gonna mattify me all day. I prefer something like the Fit Glow Blurring Bamboo Hyaluronic Acid Powder. I've also heard that the By Terry powder is similar. So for me, the Charlotte Tilbury powder would be a pass, but I also have the lip liner in Pillow Talk and I love it. It's definitely a heavier, waxier formula, which means that it stays for a very long time. So if you're looking for a long lasting liner that doesn't feel kind of dry and hard like those classic MAC pencil liners, then definitely check out the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I think they're fantastic. But on a day-to-day basis, I really don't reach for powder or liner that much, so this would be more of what I would go for anyways. So let's assess here and I will bring you in. So looking in the mirror, I think what I'm drawn to most are the lips. I just think this formula looks super smoothing. It just smooths over the lip lines, softens them a little bit, and that's always what I look for in a lip product, especially as I'm getting older. I'm noticing more vertical lip lines, especially on my upper lip, so I appreciate any kind of formula that's really smoothing. The Happy Kiss formula would definitely be my #1 pick from the brand. The Flawless Filter is just an all-time favorite. I think it makes my skin look fantastic. I prefer the minis, so I'm really grateful that shade 3 comes in a mini. I wish the brand would launch all of the shades in a mini because I don't like those huge doe foot applicators. I don't like huge bottles in my makeup cabinet. I would much prefer something like this. This has already lasted me over a year as is, and it's a product I never want to be without. This is my second time trying the eyeshadow palette, and this is the first one from the brand that I've owned, and I have to say I'm really impressed. I've heard from some other people that they said the formulas were a little bit dry, a little bit hard to work with, but I totally didn't have that issue. I feel like everything looks really soft, and I don't have great eyeshadow skills. I tend to be a one and done kind of girl. So the fact that I feel like I was able to use all 4 shadows confidently really means a lot to me and shows that they are quite beginner friendly. The only thing is I really just wanted more from that pop shade. I feel like it's a cross between a soft satin and a metallic. That sparkly shadow does have some shimmer particles that you can see when I close my eyes, but it's just not that like pop of glitter like I like. But I really like the mattes. I think that the colors are beautiful. I wouldn't typically reach for something more on the pinky mauvey side, but now that I'm seeing it on myself, it actually feels really wearable. Doesn't seem like the kind of pink that's super bright that makes me look sick or that makes me look like I'm doing like a pink look. I think this kind of color story is something that I could see myself wearing on a daily basis. Based on the way that my eyes are looking, I think it's safe to say that the Rock and Kohl eyeliner is what was transferring from my waterline to my lower lash line, because it's very clear that the mascara has not budged. And I remember when I put this on my waterline, within like 5 minutes, it was already like under my eyes. So for me, I would only use this eyeliner on the lid. I would not use it on the waterline. The mascara is the only fail. I feel like my lashes look nice, but they don't look as good as my Thrive mascara or my Maybelline Sky High mascara. Both of those are also tubing formulas that rinse right off with warm water. They hold a curl, they volumize, and they lengthen. I feel like this just gave me somewhat natural looking lashes, and it's harder to remove. So this I'm gonna give to an Instagram follower. I already have a follower who wants some of my goodies that I don't need. So make sure you're following me on Instagram if you ever want some of the makeup that I give away. And lastly, the Eyes to Mesmerize formula. I talk about it all the time. It's one of my favorite cream shadows. Sure, it creases a little bit, it fades throughout the day, but not in a way that looks like really messy. I personally don't mind a slightly lived-in look. But again, if you're someone who wants a budge-proof shadow, then maybe skip these. I actually just noticed in the mirror that under my eyes, I'm starting to get that little smudge that I was talking about. So it might actually be the mascara and not the eyeliner. I think that's probably what the culprit is. Since I don't have any liner on my waterline, I know that it's just the mascara that's doing that smudge, and this is in the exact same place where I got the transfer last time. So the mascara is a pass for me, but I think the eyeliner just redeemed itself. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe for more super honest product reviews, chatty get ready with me's, vlogs, and more. And if you made it this far, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.